Hello, it's Uplifting Others. So I want to talk about something that I find to be hard to talk about because I know that even if I don't know someone personally, I know so many people struggle with this. And it most of the time it's a secret, or sometimes, I think it's a secret a lot of times, and people don't want to talk about it. They're uncomfortable, and it's understandable. So I want to talk about rape-related pregnancies. Yeah, it's like this is a touchy topic because we don't know who's like been through that, who's dealt with that, still going through that, and they have to. Some people, they keep their kids. Some people don't, and I mean, you can't judge someone. I'll never judge anyone, of course, but when it comes down to that, I know that it's extremely hard. Like me thinking about it, it's hard for me to think about. Thank God that I've never been through that situation. But I can often put myself in someone else's shoes. So it's, I don't know. So I'll just get to the facts. 5% per rape among victims are reproductive ages 12 through 45. So that's when it starts. Adult women, there's an estimated 32,101 pregnancies due to rape each year. Majority occurs among adolescents, which resulted from assault by a known perpetrator, often related. 11.7% victims received immediate medical attention after the assault. 47.1% received no medical attention. Total of 32.4% victims didn't discover they were pregnant until they had already entered the second trimester. 32.2% kept their baby. 50% got an abortion. 5.9% placed infant up for adoption. 11.8% spontaneous abortion. So, those are all the facts that I researched. And so many people go without getting medical attention after they've been assaulted, which is normal because everyone's different. They're scared. People are scared. Of course, I have to be talking about young girls and women. So a lot of times women or young girls are scared to tell someone they've been hurt. So that's why they can't go through the right protocol to prevent pregnancy. And sometimes you just want to just not think about it and act like it never happened too. So like you just don't think about it. It's like you put on a brave face and you live like your normal life, like nothing ever happened. And that plays a role in it too, because I mean, you're just thinking that everything's okay, and then you find out that you're pregnant, and then you have to go through the trauma all over again. A lot of times when I read that a lot of the, like a majority of the victims, the perpetrators were people they knew. And that is, it's not surprising to me, because if anyone have watched like my first two videos actually, when I talked about who hurt me as a child, it was someone that I knew well. He was a family member and I trusted. My mom trusted. And I feel like we can't be so easy to trust people with our kids, knowing that everybody, of course, can't be trusted. And we're thinking that, okay, when you find out, I'm going to just use as an example because it just comes to mind, like, okay, you find out that your 12-year-old or like your teenage daughter is pregnant. So first thing you do is think that your kid is being fast and they're out here messing with these little boys and this and that, and once you find, of course, you find out that they're pregnant, and you ask them who's the father of the child, and you get I don't know, and we jump to, oh, so it was that, like, people can be harsh, and I feel like a lot of people don't think things through before they say it, and they don't assume the worst. I feel like people that never been through being sexually abused, I'm not saying this like all people, but some maybe don't think about, oh, like, could it be because of rape that my child is pregnant. You just don't jump to that. That's the last thing you want to think, So you find out that your daughter's pregnant and she don't know who the father is, and you jump to you've been messing around with all these little boys, and then the daughter can shut down and be like, will never say anything about it, and come to find out it's a family member, a friend of the family. And a lot of times when it is I watch a lot of movies, of course. A lot of times when it is a family member, what do people do? What goes on in this house stays in this house. So what? A family member takes the baby and they raise the baby as their own, and the kid find out when they're like a teenager or grown, like, that the situation is not what the situation seemed like. My mom was a victim of rape. And as I'm talking about it, it makes me like emotional, because this is the reality of it all, of being abused. And we just hide it, and we don't want to talk about it because it's not easy to talk about. But I feel like this is for just like the young teenage, like the young daughters, and we have to set, how to say it, we have to talk to our daughters as well as our sons. But this particular case, we have to talk to our daughters to let them know that it's okay for, like, to talk about things, and to know that if anything were ever to happen, that you could come to me and talk to me, and I'm not going to get mad, and everything's going to be okay. That's for that. And for the ones that are just, raped by, just raped, and they found out that they're pregnant, and they have the hard decision of keeping their baby or not keeping their baby, like abortion or adoption. And I feel like I'm not gonna put my beliefs in the situation. I'm not. I feel like when it comes down to that particular thing, it's totally up to the victim, and we can't get mad at them. We can't say, well, you could just at least do this, at least do that. You don't know what that person is going through already as being a victim of sexual assault. So why I'm not trying to be like, why put your 2 cents to think that it's okay for you to say something that's insensitive? Because of, like, yet again, you don't know what that person is going through. So, before I start ranting and raving, I just feel like we have to just be there for the ones that do come out and say, like, okay, I've been sexually assaulted, raped by, not say, what I mean? Just tell them, like, make it comfortable enough for them to say that what happened to them and that they're pregnant and they don't know what to do, and give them good advice or good resources to go to if you are not the one to give them good advice. if that makes sense. So like I always say, be mindful of others and to really just think. I mean, I don't want to put it out there like you can't trust anyone, but at the same time, when it comes down to our kids, period, you can't. And I want to let all victims and survivors of sexual assault know that it's not your fault. It's never your fault. And if you find yourself in a hard situation, there's a lot of resources out there to help you along the way. And I'm not a professional, but I am a good listener, and I will be there for anyone that ever needs someone to talk to, with no judgment, no nothing, just venting. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.